Welcome to the Coaching Life Podcast. Here on the campus of Ohio University at the pod. I'm Pat Martin. I'm here with my co-host.
More than just my hand. 3, 2, 1.
Coach Chris Stewart and Brooks McKeller. How are you?
Doing well.
Good.
It's a beautiful day outside.
It's 3 times now with Brooks.
I know.
Yep.
I know.
True co-host.
He's there. He's there.
I'm here.
So, he's before he's an official co-host, though, he's got to field this question or this statement.
Yeah.
Weather's nice outside, Brooks. It's a great day outside, don't you think?
Yeah, it is.
The joke is we always talk about the weather like at some point within the first
So I
minute
literally just
of
did
our
the same
podcast.
thing.
You just
Yeah.
jumped right in there.
There we
Yeah.
Yeah.
The leaves.
I mean,
the
yeah, I mean, you
fall.
do have an awesome view, like out this way. So.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
This is my favorite season. Oddly enough, I love the
Yeah,
fall.
I do too.
It's my favorite season.
I think it's the best as well.
And it's my favorite season to be
Early
on campus
fall
too.
when it still has a little bit of remnant of summer in it.
I like
early fall.
I like that crisp, cool
Morning.
crispness.
I like it being cold in the morning, and then you can take the sweatshirt off in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
Mr. Alabama likes the cold in the morning.
That's it, though.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's all the cold he can handle.
Once it's like cold in the morning and still cold in the middle of the day, then we got problems.
It's time to move back down
Yeah,
south.
then it's time my time to migrate.
Speaking of coolness, do you guys? I'm sure you know what a thermostat
Sure.
does.
Yeah.
My
Regulates the temperature.
my Jake's truck is 2019 Colorado Chevy Colorado.
Good looking truck.
It's a nice truck. The air conditioner is not working, and the engine fan continues to run about 10 minutes after he turns it off. And his temperature gauge on the truck sticks at 160. It never gets warm.
Oh.
So I've heard that that's a temperature or thermostat coolant sensor issue. So we worked on the thermostat yesterday.
You did.
You
get under the hood,
Me
dude?
and my dad and Jake did. Yeah.
YouTube videos.
I didn't know that about you. There's something I didn't know about
YouTube. Good.
Oh, I
you. You a
don't-
mechanic?
No.
Like you do like that's more than just like an oil change and
Yeah.
brake pads. I mean that's different there, right?
All I did was turn a couple bolts. I mean,
For your dad.
Yeah.
Who is the mechanic. Okay.
Yeah, don't get this twisted
Okay.
here.
Gotcha.
And I might it's in a crazy spot. It's harder, and it's just crazy to get it out.
Well, everything is
And then that
engines.
sensor is even worse. So we changed it, and it fixed it. But I think it fixed it because we unplugged we took some
Yeah.
fuses out. So I think it's going to happen again. We're going to have to change that sensor. So
Here's something funny. So I drive a Ford Maverick, the hybrid version, right? So
also a nice truck.
yeah, it is a nice truck. Under the hood of that, you ever seen under the hood of those?
Yeah, it looks like this.
It's completely different. You can't move.
Can't move the thing. It's just
It's all. It's just a
this is what it
computer,
looks
just
like
a computer
right
underneath there.
here.
Yeah.
You open it up.
So I went to Kroger. I stopped at Kroger after work yesterday before heading down to fertilize my baseball field. And
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
when I came
Go
on the
ahead.
podcast, or a little bit later.
Well, you just made me think of it.
Okay. But so on the I come out from Kroger, and the lady parked right beside my truck has she's underneath her hood, and she just popped her hood and everything. So I'm like, well, obviously there's a problem. I said, do you know what the issue is? Is somebody coming to help? And she said, I think my battery's dead, and I really don't have anybody to call. And I said, well, let's do it. Let's figure it out. Let's get this thing, let's jump started. And I said, you can get it rolling, take it over to AutoZone right across the street, and they'll test it for you for free and figure it out for you. And she's like, oh, I appreciate that. And so we got the jumper cables out, and it was funny because instead of opening the hood of my truck, I get in the back seat and pop the seat up, because underneath the seat is where my batteries are, right? And that's what we hooked it up to jumpstart her truck.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Did it
and my
work?
truck was
Did it
already
work?
running, but she couldn't hear it because when you first started, it's just on electric. It's just running on electric.
work?
Oh heck yeah!
So she
right
was
now.
like, well, you got to
Yeah.
start it.
What's that? I mean, it's the same way. You can jumpstart a car from a battery-powered vehicle.
Yeah.
In the same way. It's just the battery's in a different place. She goes, I ain't never been jumped by a battery by a hybrid before. She goes, that's weird that your battery's right there. I said, yeah, I kind of agree. I thought it was under the hood too when I first bought the truck. And I opened the hood and it's like, where in the heck's the battery? And then
if the battery blows up.
And so, yeah, it's underneath the back seat.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Have you ever seen the under the hood of my 1979 Chevy C20 square body? Did you know I had one of those?
No, I did not.
You still have that?
Yeah, I still have that.
I haven't seen you drive it.
It's sitting in the driveway. Well, it gets about 12 miles to a gallon.
Yeah.
Versus the 50
You drove
that I
it.
get.
You drove it though.
Oh yeah, you and I drove it to AB. We drove that sucker for
That's
2 hours
right,
and
we
50
did.
minutes. Or 2 hours and 20 minutes to West Virginia.
I completely forgot about that.
Didn't have to replace a belt or nothing. It was smooth sailing. It wasn't smooth sailing. But
Whose was it before? It
was loud. We lost our voices by the time we got there because we had to talk over the wind. So no, it was one owner. It was a single owner. I bought it off a farm, Irvin Farms here, and they had bought it off of a lady whose husband had died, and he was the original owner. Bought it brand new in '78. It was a '79 model at the Chevy garage, and has all the paperwork inside the glove box, and it has
that year.
No rust, and the bed is in perfect condition. It's a cool truck. I mean, it's old. Like I use it.
Yeah.
It's got. In fact, I got to dump it right now. It's full of cardboard from junk in my garage that I gotta take it and do something.
Did you clean your garage out this year?
Yeah, boy.
Well, I did too.
How many miles
I forgot
are
to
on
tell
it?
you.
114,000. The engine got the engine that's in it. It's a 350 small block. It only has about 45,000 miles on it though. Okay. It's a new engine. Yeah. Bless you. Or I guess that was a cough. So excuse you.
I'm sick. Just so you guys know. Sorry.
6 feet. We're all good.
Yeah. what I was going to say though is like you pop the hood on that, and it's like you know what everything is.
Looks like an engine. I would.
Yeah. And in fact, when Dad and I, it's kind of cool, working with your dad, like working on a vehicle with your dad. It's kind of like cool experience yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When we were changing the valve cover gaskets because it was leaking oil on my truck right after I bought it. And that's where it was leaking from, so we just replaced those. We got down inside the hood and sat like I was resting one cheek on the wheel well.
That's advantageous.
Underneath the hood of that, and able to get to everything that we need to get to.
Yeah,
you can't
Made
imagine
like that though for people to do that probably.
We had to step up to be able to get in the jigsaw.
You had a little stool.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, if you open the front of a Tesla, isn't it just like backseat cargo area?
It's a frunk.
In the back.
It's a frunk.
Yeah, frunk. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
A frunk.
The
Yeah,
trunk
front.
is in the front
You put everything in the front.
because all the batteries are in the back.
Oh.
That's how some sports cars are too, though. A lot of them.
Really?
have the engines in the back.
Volkswagen's engine is in the back. Well, they used to be. The new ones are not.
How do those?
Because that's dangerous, actually.
I was gonna say-
There's nothing to you get hit head on with a car. Now Teslas are reinforced up there.
That's what I was going to say.
But
What's
the old
safety?
Volkswagen Beetles, those would crush.
Like you're.
Yes.
Yeah. Yikes.
Yeah.
I can't see myself driving a Beetle anyway. To be honest with you, I don't.
With a little flower. And
Yeah, the eyelashes. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I see any of those in the parking lot at Peden Stadium. I don't think any of the coaches are driving a Beetle.
There's no Volkswagen.
Yeah,
Beetles.
something manly about that.
There was a lady when I was
I'm sure
growing
we'll
up.
get in trouble.
Well, I drive an HRV. That's pretty close.
My Sunday school teacher when I was little, she had a red one with white polka dots. That she called the Ladybug.
Yeah.
See, she's allowed. Yeah.
But I mean, she was just driving around a little town in Alabama. You're not
Gotcha.
You're not worried about.
So we're going to
you're-
get messages from guys that drive Beetles now.
Yeah.
That teacher was either dyslexic or colorblind.
It may
Yeah.
have been- yeah.
Ladybug that's red and white.
Well, it may have been black dots. I don't know. I
What
could be
color?
throwing
What color is West Virginia's Polka High School? Polka, Polka.
The dots.
The polka dots. That's their mascot.
Feel like
polka dots.
I've seen. I feel like they have purple.
It's not that far from here. Polka's about
Or
what,
blue.
2 hours from here.
Because I
they
remember,
blue?
one time, when this was a long time ago, at a band competition, went to watch Chastity March compete in a band competition, and the Polka Dots had a band there.
Yeah.
They were in the smallest class. They had 8 members in their band.
Is
in the
that
marching
right?
band, and they were amazing.
They did good.
Oh yeah, they won their class, and I think
Yeah.
got awards in the second and the one above them
That's
too.
pretty
So,
awesome.
Yeah,
Hey, the Eastern.
I used to be in
band
the band.
doing
Eastern
good.
band good.
Yeah.
I used to play in the band. I was trombone.
Well, what did you play? Trombone.
Trombone. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is that
Boxing.
who's the Eastern band director? Is it?
There's a young guy named
It's
Mr.
not Chad.
Fry.
Is Chad at Southern?
Chad's at Southern, and
Okay.
we played Southern this week, buddy. The bands were good.
Dueling bands.
Little dueling band, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's really Mr. Fry. So Eastern didn't have a band for about 20 years, and this son of a gun brought it back, and it's growing every year. And not only that, when you listen to them play the national anthem, like this year, Game 1 versus what the national anthem sounded like Game 10 the other night. Well, it wouldn't have been 10 for them. It'd been 5 playing it. Light years better. I mean, no sour notes. I mean, it's a small band still, 30 members maybe 30 when you count the flags and all.
That's my preference, though. Are you going to ask him to come to your baseball games?
I have asked him.
Oh.
The problem is, I asked him last year, and he said, yeah, I'd like to do the national anthem and even play a little bit, like a little pep band. He's like, that'd be pretty cool. I've never done it for baseball. I'm like, oh, it's pretty cool. I mean,
Yeah.
there's been one or two baseball games I've ever heard.
You know
bands
who
play
does
that.
it?
There's
Consistently. Wahama does it.
Oh, they never did when we were there. They haven't since
I think
last
that,
4 years.
Yeah, I don't think they
Maybe
always do
league
it.
games. Yeah, some games. Yeah, that's what I told him. We play so many games.
I talked to Mr. Dingus about it a few years ago, and just we didn't get hooked up. But I'm gonna.
It's hard because a lot of those students are doing other things and
Sure.
and all that. So let's go back to this trombone over here, Mr. Miles Davis. Miles played saxophone. Yeah. Who's the trombonist? One of those guys.
Don't know.
I want to say Louis Armstrong or
Yeah. Okay. He's trumpet. I'm pretty sure.
trumpet.
Yeah.
Okay.
He probably could play.
Who's the
trombone.
famous trombonist?
I don't know.
I love
Brooks.
jazz music, but there's
Yeah, exactly. Throw one in here. I'll go crazy on it. No, yeah, I used to. When I went to a really small school, everybody wanted to be in the band.
So is this high school? What age?
It was 7th, 8th, 9th. Yeah, played trombone. I was really pretty good at it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I played the clarinet and wasn't
No,
good at it.
weren't good.
I enjoyed it.
I think I was 6th grade when I
I
played
enjoyed it, and then so the small school that I went to, for 2 years that my dad was coaching at was in the middle or pretty much nowhere. It's kind of crazy. Your freshman year of high school, it's not a private school, it's a public school, but your freshman year of high school, they required that you did a year of ROTC.
Oh,
Yeah. So I did ROTC. I was in Foxtrot was my company name.
wow.
I got up to I don't know what.
I like that.
Like they give you pins and everything, and like you have to go to a military ball. You have to dress up. You have to wear every Wednesday. You have to wear your
Man.
military clothes at school. It's a public
Could
school.
you imagine trying to
He said it was a public school.
do
Public
that?
school.
Well, I was just going to say
Well, we were in the middle of nowhere. I mean,
in Athens. as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
Can you imagine like if my wife brings that up at the next meeting? I'd like to have a mandatory freshman year ROTC training. Should be fired.
you would do I mean, you had like a company day where you had to learn how to do like right face, left face, about face.
Yeah.
Like you had to march
Yeah.
around.
I mean, I'm not saying people hate the military here. I'm just saying that's a hard thing to require, right?
Yeah. Well, it's like when you're making your high school. I can remember making
It's
my
the same thing as requiring them to take gym.
like
I
you know
guess.
when you make your schedule like online,
Is it?
right? When you make your schedule, when you would make your, I can remember making my schedule freshman year. I could not pull off the ROTC class out of the schedule block. They put it in there for you.
required.
Required. You got
No option.
No option.
So it's probably it's a freshman. I totally get the benefit and the value of it because
And
it's teaching a freshman coming
and you
right
can
in
take-
the value of structure.
Yeah, for
Discipline.
for the athletic programs, it had to be great.
Yeah,
And you can take ROTC the rest of your 3 years if you want, and they
Sure.
really want you to. They're
That's what I was saying though. They have an ROTC program. Like
yeah.
yeah.
Megs don't have an ROTC program.
Ohio University does big one.
Oh
right?
yeah. They were just
Athens doesn't
The
have it.
recruits were just inducted. What do you call it? They did their swear in.
Oh, cool.
At the game.
I always
this
see them on
past Saturday.
Bentley grappling. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? Yeah.
Well, they used to. Did you say Lindley?
Bentley.
So they used to do it on Lindley before they did the renovations on Lindley over here.
I think they still are doing it
on the side of the,
Bentley.
Doesn't Bentley
that's
cut
repellent.
in and then it's Lindley?
Oh, I guess that's Lindley. I don't know.
Oh,
Sorry.
so they still repel on Lindley on the
Yeah.
side
Maybe
there
that
where
is
the,
Lindley.
where
I didn't-
the,
I thought
where
that
the
was
snack
Bentley.
bar is now.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly
Yeah,
what it is.
that
Sorry.
green there.
Yeah, that's
I think
it.
that's.
Yep.
It's
yeah.
a huge building. That's a confusing building right there. By the
I've
way,
never been in it.
Yeah, it's like a maze.
I think yes.
You put corn in there, you could charge admission, like a corn maze walking through the hallways of that.
I always think, well, what's
That was
the
a good joke. That was a good dad joke. I
What's
know you
the,
put corn in there.
I'm glad you laughed.
Yeah.
Brooks?
Don't encourage
That's
that.
bad.
What's the big building down on South Campus? Right, the huge. Is it Morton?
Morton, with all where all the testing takes place.
That's a scary building. You go in there, you feel like you're in a boat, like the Titanic.
It's so
Like
dark in there.
the halls are
That's why I
this
took,
narrow.
first year
Have
college
they not
algebra.
renovated that building yet?
No.
Oh, I haven't been there in a while.
Still has the old 1970s woodwork.
Can't even remember
woodworking
why I
in
used
that.
to go there.
Did you ever take the ACT? Well, like when you worked here.
ACT.
That's where my kids took the ACT.
I took
Morton?
the ACT in May at
9
Meg's
a.m. or whatever time it was.
in the cafeteria.
You know what's crazy is my
Brock
ACT.
took it one. Brock took it one day. I was waiting out there for him. As soon as he was done, we hit the because we had a baseball game.
Yeah. My ACT was, I could have made a 1 on it. It was waived for COVID. Did not
That's
go.
right.
Did not matter.
Do they even? Do you know they don't require it here? Do they for admission?
Really?
No.
No.
Wow.
A lot of universities.
Is that
have gone
kind of
away
coming up
from it.
new? Is that a new thing?
Yeah, because a lot of schools.
It's like a lot of the things with OU. It's optional.
It is.
So it's like,
Yeah, getting good grades.
do you do it? Like Jake's applying to
For the engineering school, right?
College of
Russ
Engineering, yeah. So
You'd think they would take SAT, ACT,
Yeah.
but
everything that
it's
he's-
optional. And also, entrance essay optional. So do you do it? Or do
What's
you
the
not do it?
minimum requirement? Like I would think
You apply, then get
you've got to
rejected,
be
do it.
you've got to have a decent resume, don't you, to get into the College of Engineering?
Yeah, that's a good
I would
question. I don't know.
assume.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, Jake's got a good GPA and all that. What do you know? What he is in his class
His
ranking?
no, he's top 10. But
Yeah, awesome. Wow,
I don't know
top
the
10.
unweighted weighted.
Were you top 10?
No.
Yeah.
Unweighted weighted. I don't know the difference and what counts, what matters. But it's like one's a 3.97 and he's got a 4.02.
I don't understand the weighted either.
He got a low A one time,
And was
I
mad
think that
upset
brought.
about it.
Yeah.
Nah, he don't get.
Oh, that's
upset.
when you punished him for a week.
Well, he didn't
So
eat.
he couldn't get out of
Yeah,
it.
it wasn't
he
really
had
pun-
no
just
food.
he didn't eat.
Well, in order to get water, he
I gave
had to
him
bring
more.
it back up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Nah, he was.
Go down to the well.
Jake.
What were you like in high school?
What, grades wise?
Yeah.
It was
Pretty good.
Yeah. I was solid.
Good. I was good. Like,
Yeah. I
like-
mean, I didn't have, I think I was
I
just
wasn't
A's,
top five.
I think I was A's and B's.
Top- yeah.
Yeah.
I was
no
a
C's.
3.2.
Do you remember what do you remember what it felt like or what grade you were in when you got your first C?
It had to be algebra 2 at Trig.
Or did you ever get a C?
Yeah, I think it was algebra 2 at Trig.
Oh,
I think it was
The first time
probably.
algebra was
My,
introduced
you know,
to
you,
me.
you get your,
Mr.
you know, you,
Oliver's algebra class is probably my first.
So in high school for you then?
you know your mid-semester
Probably, yeah.
grades you would get back that they print out and give your parents?
Yeah.
That's what it was for me, algebra 2 at Trig. It was a 76.
Huh? Well, I got my first C in junior high. I'm pretty sure. The first time I took algebra, I was terrible. And then I knew this was gonna. There goes high school because I know I'm not.
Well, I
think
had
a
to-
lot
I was
of-
gonna have C. If
I
I
had the
got a B
greatest-
in,
I mean, I'll
in
be-
math or advanced math or trig or whatever it was we were taking, I was elated.
I had the greatest junior high algebra teacher to ever live,
I had the greatest
Mrs.
driver.
Lear?
Mike Kennedy.
Oh, yeah.
I had the
You're,
greatest.
you're a lot younger than me.
driver's ed teacher ever. So Alabama, you get your license, you get your permit through the school. Like you get your high school.
You used
like,
to be able to do that here.
yeah,
I
driver's
think.
ed. Dude, this guy. My driver's test
Did you
consisted
fall
of.
asleep, read the paper the whole time you were driving?
No, we just drove to McDonald's. He said, "Okay, you're good."
That's all. Wow.
He said, "You want to go
It's
get
no
a
wonder
burger?"
you got a tire hanging
want-
over the
Exactly.
You can
parallel
tell.
parking.
Yeah.
You can tell when an athlete walks across the floor, the field. You can tell. You know.
But the thing was this.
No,
man.
yeah, they
but
are.
the thing was this. Let's just be honest. I've been driving trucks around since I was 8 years old with my dad in the pasture.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like by the time you get there, you've already drove a lot.
That's interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a safetyism
Like he
conversation.
kind of could.
there,
My
isn't
dad.
it?
My dad actually is a driver's ed teacher. So he's football coach, but he's also driver's ed. He's done like economics before history, but he likes driver's ed because it's just like he feels like he's applying something to the real world.
Yeah.
He'll like pass some kids, and then some kids he's like, all right.
Yeah.
But the kids who grow up driving,
I got to do something for the community here. You're not.
Yeah.
You're not
exactly.
You're not
No, I'll tell
right.
y'all something, man. Here, listen, he has had moments.
Wait a minute, has your dad been listening to these podcast episodes?
I'll send him this one for sure. He's listened to the first one. He's listened to the first one too. Okay. Anyway, he like when it's the kids who come in who've been driving with their dads on farms and stuff. Those guys, one hand, flick the blinker, they're easy going.
Does he dock him for that?
You know what's gonna be like.
Pass.
Yeah.
Easy. Because they already know. But it's the kids who are never touched a wheel. And had a kid come in there with the
White
key.
knuckling it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put the key in the air vent. Why is it not starting, Coach? What? And then he had another kid. They were trying to merge onto the interstate.
Your parents failed you, son.
I want to apologize because I don't think I was sincere enough earlier when I said he keeps people that shouldn't be driving from driving.
Serious.
This man is a hero.
Yeah.
Your dad's a hero for not allowing that person to move forward.
This is the problem. Is like the parents for that kid will email my dad and be like, "Why are you not passing Johnny?" He's like,
"Oh yeah, I know that happens."
He'll just email.
Oh yeah, the parents will come to their defense right now for anything, any dumb thing that they do. Absolutely.
Like you're
That's
wrong.
The day
my
we're
child's
in.
right.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, teacher is never right today. All these teachers are out there going, "Amen,
yeah,
amen."
I like the one that he's told me though. So in those cars, they have a brake and a gas pedal on the left side, but they have a brake in the passenger seat where my dad's at, so he can slam on if he needs to. They were merged on he takes them on some back roads, like he doesn't take.
That's fun
in the real life.
That's why I think driver's ed is fun around here.
Yeah. So, but they were merging onto a highway, and there was a yield sign, and this kid's trying to merge onto the highway. There's cars flying. My dad's got his foot on the brake. It's just going, ying, 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 and he's like, "Why is it not going?" He's like, "Because there's cars going by, and you're not supposed to go right now."
The yield sign is my biggest pet peeve on the highway.
You mean how people handle it?
People do not know what that word means.
They don't know.
We need in driver's ed. They need to spend an entire module, an entire unit.
But
on Module 3, yield.
It happens.
What yield means.
It happens both ways.
When you see this, even if you can't read, when you see this upside down triangle with the red line around it and those letters, Y-E-Y-I-E-L-D, here's what it means. If you must stop because the cars on the highway cannot get over, there's 2 lanes and there's 2 lines of cars, there's nowhere for them to go, yielding means I got to stop until I got a chance to come out, right?
And
they don't though.
And the opposite is also true. The main traffic doesn't stop. They don't slow down.
Will slow down.
Yes.
Oh, it drives me nuts here on this Route 50 and 33. People on the highway will come to a stop to let this person in. No, we don't do that here.
No, you drive.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
People, they need to retake driver's ed. We need to send them all down to Alabama to Brooks's dad.
Well, like, man,
everyone stops when
it's just real bad. Though.
Pull up to traffic circle, stop. No.
Some of the stuff, like my dad took this one kid who had never been driving before, and he just said, "Look, we're gonna go on this one road. It's got no ditches on the side of it, just pine trees lining it, straight road. Okay, and they're just
no chance it's gonna go bad.
There's no way. And he's just driving down this road. He just talks. He's like, "Hey man, what's your parents do, or what's this and that and all that." And this kid this is at this real small school that had to do the ROTC. He just goes, "Yeah, coach, my dad died on this road driving."
Oh,
no
crap.
way.
Yeah. And it's the most straightest, like, uncrashable road ever. And he's like, "All right, well, let's just pull back around and drive away from
Oh, my God. So he was serious.
Yeah, he was dead serious.
Oh, that's terrible.
I know.
Yeah, that's rough.
But, like, he was thinking it was an easy road.
Well, yeah.
He's driving on it.
Yeah.
That's what he even said. He's like, "Hey, I'm going to take you on an easy road."
You never know. I mean,
think he told him, he's like, "This is an easy road.
Deer runs out in front of you. You jerk the wheel.
Oh, no.
I mean,
yeah.
That's why I said there's no way you can crash.
Oh, my gosh.
And he just goes, "Hey, my dad."
Yeah. Speaking of faux pas, that's a faux pas.
It's a faux pas.
When you put your foot in your mouth. You say something you had no idea, like you didn't intend for it to be a bad, like you thought it was going to be a good thing. But
Speaking in absolutes.
It ended up being the worst thing. Yeah.
No, I mean, he would.
Faux pas is what Jameis Winston does every time he gets behind a microphone.
Yeah.
Not doing it gets behind center, though.
Oh, here we go. Sports podcast. We're 24 minutes in.
I did notice. I didn't get any text on Sunday. Didn't want to talk about any football. Why
Sunday
is
was
that?
a rough day for all the teams I follow.
Yeah.
Jeez. Listen, even Thanksgiving Day, I might find something else to do. I'm not watching the Cowboys anymore.
Our routine is get food,
Jeez.
watch football, and then get the leftovers and sleep.
Oh, that's me too.
You just nap
But
in between. And
I'll watch the
pecan
Lions.
pie, ice cream.
I don't know what's going on.
Or you could be a
Right,
Browns
Dallas.
fan who never plays on Thanksgiving because they're not good enough. Tough it up a little bit, Coach. Come on.
So my family is
I've
actually
always-
taking a weekend off, and we're going to watch the Bengals live
We're going to Cleveland
in the
Sunday.
stadium this week. So you're going to Cleveland. I'm going to Cincinnati.
This
we got
week
some
you
college
are?
students leading our church service, which is pretty cool.
That's awesome.
This Sunday.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You're going this Sunday?
We are.
Oh, sweet.
I'm actually doing a church service here. This is pretty cool. This is really awesome. I'm breaking this news here, right? We are, so, like I do chapel services for the football team on
You
the
said you're
road.
gonna do the 8 a.m.
And Mark Heflin does them here at home, and so we share the chaplain duties in that sense. Coach Covington, who's the director of football operations, phenomenal at his job. I mean, I've seen the work that this guy does and the amount of work that he has on his plate on a weekly basis, the planning that takes place on these away trips, everything that has to be just right and just down to the minute, and all the people that he has doing this work with him and for him. Just really, really good. I commend him. So he's the one that always messages me about, hey, this is what time we're leaving, for this trip or whatever. Kent State here next Wednesday and all that. And here's what time chapel's going to be. And he said, hey, I know you're a pastor. He said, do you know of any churches in Athens that meet at 8 a.m.? Because he said, we're entering into Maction play, which is the midweek games. And he said, Coach Albin wanted me to ask if you knew of any guys who wanted to go and worship before practice, because we're going to have to practice in the morning, if they could get an early morning church service in before they come to practice. And first of all, it's the first year they've ever asked that. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's really, really cool that even the question was asked, right? And then second of all, I couldn't think of any. I looked at a few churches that I could think of, in the area, and I'm like, I don't know of very many churches that have that early, like an 8 o'clock a.m. service. Even churches that have probably 2 services, I think maybe 9 is as early as they get.
Yeah.
And they have to start practice at 9. They got to be ready at 9. So basically, he's looking for them. 8 a.m. to 8:50 is it. And even if those guys went to, like, let's say they went to the Wesleyan church, if they had an 8 a.m. service, they still wouldn't make it. They'd go for like 15 minutes and have to drive back to Peden Stadium.
Right.
So I said, hey, I don't have to be at my own church until 10:30. Let's just do a church service at Peden, at the stadium, and in the meeting room. And he messaged me right back and said, that's even better. We said we love that. We love that idea. And so for the next 3 Sundays, 8 a.m. to 8:50, church at Peden Stadium. I met with Parker here before our podcast. We talked through, basically the element. I said, I don't want it to just be like a chapel service. We're gonna have an hour, almost 50 minutes. I said, so let's bring in. I said, let's play. Let's do some worship. He said, well, tell me what songs you're gonna. I said, we'll do 2 songs. We'll open up with a song. I'll preach, and then we'll close with a song. I'll bring communion. We'll do, and he's like, yeah, I'll play.
Wait a second.
This is the quarterback
It's
of
an
the
hour?
football team. Huh?
It's an hour?
Yeah, about an hour.
So you're going to give a short sermon.
So, I'm gonna give a short sermon. Brooks knows. He's
Hey, man.
so.
Shoot. That's good. That's cool.
That's good.
It's really good.
So no.
Good job.
How many guys are we expecting?
That's a good question. I don't know. We'll pray for
Yeah,
all
for
of
all
them.
of them,
Yeah. But I mean, I would guess 20 or 30. It just depends on how many of the coaches come too, because or if they are meeting beforehand or whatever. Because I know we typically have some coaches come to chapel as well.
Yeah, they can walk downstairs, change out. It's fresh on their mind.
Absolutely.
We did a podcast episode one time of travel, how you fit
Baseball church.
baseball, church,
Yeah.
or athletics, and church.
Yeah, it was an easy thing to consider.
Yeah. So that's really cool. You're reapplying again, something you've done
Yeah.
before.
And I actually
bringing it
told
to Ohio
Cub that.
University. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
you mentioned it. Hey, you guys, were you the one that mentioned that?
What?
That did I text you about this? And
I
you're
feel
like,
like we talked about
Yeah, we
this.
did last podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
oh, gotcha. So I didn't break the news. So anyway, but I guess,
you said they were looking for one. You didn't know, like you were gonna.
Yeah, you didn't.
I asked you if you were going to invite him to ACES, and then you're like, well, it's got to be earlier. I don't think you have this in place yet.
So, because he actually just messaged me that day, didn't he? It was right before I came in here to podcast. Because I actually, when I replied, I said, "Let me think about it. I'm getting ready to podcast." So
Something like it. You
I
might
just
even
told
got
you
it
guys.
when we
I
were
don't think we
recording.
were recording. I think it was
Oh, okay.
beforehand. But anyway, that's what's happening. It's going to be really cool. I've got an idea for like a three part series on just the basic gospel message, right?
Sweet.
The bad news, the good news, and then how to live in the good news, basically. So. Because I know I can keep that about 25 minutes or so, whatever it's going to need to be. So, and then we're going to load up and head to Cincinnati this week, and then the following 2 weeks I'll load up and go down to my own church. So yeah, we're just a week off.
I went to Eastern Michigan this past week.
Oh, yeah?
To watch Charity play up there.
Oh yeah.
And it was only like 40 minutes from Toledo, so it was nice because after the Saturday game, I was able to take her back to her like near her home, like her actual home, and we got to hang out with her whole fam. And actually left really early Monday morning to come back at like 5 a.m., 5:30, 6 a.m.
Wow.
But she always likes, just her mom works at the church there. She's like a women's ministry leader, and so they're actually like building so they've renamed the church there, and they're building a ginormous, like kind of not ginormous. It's a lot bigger. They need it though because they're growing a lot, and it used to be called North Point, heaven. You get a church, and now it's called a community house. Pretty cool.
Where is this?
Toledo.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a North Point. Some of the songs that we sing are written. I think there's a North Point.
It's different than that, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's I think there's one in Atlanta or in the Atlanta area, Georgia area.
Yeah. No, I asked her. I was like,
I think it's where Louis Giglio.
not.
I think Louis Giglio's church is
really?
North Point. So like Christian Stanfield, some of those songs that he does.
I asked her. I always asked her if there was if it was a split off.
They're
church,
part of that.
But it's not.
Yeah.
It's their own. So
That's hard to come up with an original name.
Yeah.
Like everybody tries to come up with these original names, like The Drink or where I mean, or even ours, Oasis.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, we had it was a good sermon this weekend. It was Philippians 4:6. Don't worry about anything. So it's good to get into that and just break it down. I had sent it to some of my guys on the golf team.
Cool.
Just I'll send them a verse every few days and just kind of write a little description under it.
Are you guys going to continue to meet now that golf season is on?
So I actually had to cancel yesterday. We're going to do it today. Yesterday, just everybody was really busy. I'm going to do it today. I told them, I said, it's so pretty outside. We're going to go Stroud's. Just going to sit under a bench.
Cool. Yeah. Stroud's Run.
So today is John 9.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, we're at John 9 today.
Nice.
So,
yeah,
it'll be a fun one to read. But I usually just come in there and I'll split it. Every 10 verses, I'll have like 2 questions that I just kind of come up with for them, and then they'll have questions, and I'll just
good stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Great job.
Yeah, no, it was a fun weekend. I'll tell you what, EMU, it is out in the middle of nowhere, kind of, but I do think they have cool facilities. I think they have a cool basketball gym. I think they have a cool football. Well, I don't like the turf.
Yes. I'm glad to hear you say
the
that.
gray
What
turf
is
is
it?
I hate watching football on that gray turf. Oh,
but I do think it's cool how their gym is here, and then you walk out and you're automatically at the stadium. That's kind of cool.
Is that? I've never been there.
Boise.
Well, they are your logo, right? EMU's E.
The blocky.
Yeah, copyright.
It's like, it's probably not the exact same blocky, but yeah, it's pretty hard to copyright that. I mean, how do you copyright a typewriter?
Times New Roman 12.
yeah. No one else can use this. No.
Yeah.
We use that. They have a Scripty also. One of their baseball uniforms is a Scripty.
Okay.
It's different. It's a different script than our Scripty, but it's pretty cool. I have because they're the same color and the same logo. I've looked at their uniforms and kind of tried to model some of our new designs off of their baseball swag, their shirts and stuff. So
yeah. I'm trying to think of. There's a lot of schools in Alabama that have like NFL logos that they just put a different color on.
I know. I don't know how people get away with that.
Speaking of swag, Jesus One shirts.
Yeah, where are they at?
En route, they could be sitting on my porch.
Really?
Yeah, the guy emailed me yesterday and told me yesterday was Tuesday. He emailed me yesterday and told me that they were shipped on Monday. They're coming from Arizona.
But didn't you say they were going to start selling them?
So yes, and I talked to him. I said so. I said Matt, I still want to talk to you about getting this shirt up on the website. He said what we typically do is he said we'll talk about that. He said once you get the shirts, and you guys distribute them out to because Coach Alvin and his wife bought a shirt for every football player if they want it. Like they're not going to make them take it, but if they want it, they bought 188 of them for them. Yeah,
yeah.
And they probably won't like me saying that out loud, but I mean, like
that's pretty awesome.
Because they would, it's something they would do without that. They don't need the recognition for it, but they're good people, man. I like them a lot. But that's
awesome. Yeah.
For not just so that's not just the team. That's staff. Equipment guys, everybody, anybody that wants one. Yeah. And then she even said, throw in as many as you want also. So basically we bought them for
400
AIA leadership, right? So yeah, we got you one. Yeah. I just had to guess your size.
Large.
It was either large or extra large. I don't know. It's cotton. It'll shrink.
He's like,
well, I mean, look at those shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, I swing.
I mean, you and Tiger probably lifting about the same.
We actually do have a kid on the team who's
pretty beefy.
He's pretty ripped. I think he likes working out more than golfing.
Do you work out for golf?
He should lead your
3 times a week. What's your main lifts?
I can probably pull it. We do sheets like everybody else. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So we have a sheet, and then we'll do we'll have a.
You squat and
we do everything: bench press, squat,
deadlift.
Yeah. I mean, this past workout I actually got a little. I thought it was a little easier, maybe just because we are off season. I just take whatever the trainer gives us.
Yeah.
But we did renegade push-ups where you have to have push-up, and then we did some Spanish squats. We can put the band around your leg and you kind of put it against the pole and squat, and then we'll do over the head shoulder press. Just dumbbell.
You let your players do that in season or near
overhead?
Season? When do you stop overhead press for your baseball players?
So here in the last 2 years, we haven't fully stopped, but we deloaded it quite a bit.
Yeah.
Like we still do the small dumbbells. I don't like we're doing barbell overhead press.
Yeah.
Up until actually we're in phase 2 now, so we're not doing it right now. We did barbell overhead press in phase 1, which was August to middle of October.
The same day.
I feel like that's when I've stopped.
Yeah. But like.
But you're going to go back to
because we still do the small dumbbell shoulder stuff, like the dumbbell raises and the different and so we'll still go overhead with that. Just it's more reps and lower weight, and because overhand throwing sport is hard on the shoulder. So
sure, yep.
Yeah, the same day we do back squat, we do bench press. So I guess we keep it even, kind of muscle distribution wise. But
yep.
You do tricep? What's
tricep pull downs.
Or I mean, do you do what's your format usually? Is it 5x5?
It's usually
3x6.
Yeah, it'll be like 4 workouts, and they're usually 4 sets of 6, 4 sets of
strength
7.
building.
Yeah, and then we'll have like a T band thing.
Yeah.
Or we'll do like 4 sets of 18.
It's getting almost like hitting, where you have so many philosophies out there now, like.
Oh, strength
I
training?
like all the oh my gosh, I will say one of the best stretches I've ever done was this past week. Out of all my 4 years that we've ever done, you probably know it's called a fire hydrant. And so you stand there and you put your band around your knees and you just kind of spread out and just kick your. Oh my gosh!
Yeah, we do fire hydrants.
Man,
that's
that
one of
got
our,
me.
That's one of our mobility work.
Feeling it. I've never and like for me, like hips and low back is all I care about. Like if my hips and low back are chilling, it doesn't matter. I'll be good. But like, because that's how golf is. You put a lot of in your waist.
It's how baseball is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's where I feel it when I wake up the next morning after I go playing golf. I haven't played in a while.
Yeah, I mean, you wonder how those guys hit it so far, and like us college golfers hit it so far is it's because if your hips are going, you're gonna go.
All right.
Yeah.
What's your furthest drive?
Me ever?
Yeah, let's talk about long drives.
Furthest drive ever?
Yeah.
I mean, it has to be. I mean, cart path or fairway?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah. No, I mean,
because it hits that cart path and it'll go another 50 yards.
I mean, there's probably. I think everyone on our team's probably hit one 370 in their life.
Holy crap.
380. I mean, you got to catch it. I mean, it's downhill, downwind or something, but like.
That's a long way.
There's definitely guys who I've been playing with on our team who it'll be a 400-yard par 4 and they'll have 35 yards in or something. I mean. You know when you catch one though. I mean,
Yeah.
like, you know, you'll have. I would say almost everybody on our team after rollout, like not carry, but after rollout, I'd say almost everyone on our team is pushing 315 total. You know.
So do you play at OU's course?
Sometimes.
It's like if I mention some holes.
Yeah, I know
you
the holes,
recognize.
yeah, I know
Okay,
the
so
holes, yeah.
so like on
Like one-
on 2.
Okay, so-
well, one's a 5.
Well,
Five.
one I usually have like 145 in. I'll just take over the trees.
Yeah, that's Brock did that the other day. I went and
Yeah.
played with Brock last week. Brock
take
and
it over the
Dustin and I
trees,
went and played.
like the
He
left
went.
side.
Yeah, he went straight through the trees.
Yeah, 2 is
Over,
drivable.
kind of just. I thought he was going to hit and just barely went over the.
2's
those trees.
drivable.
I usually will try to hit straight, and I'm probably but I want to stay out of the bunker there
Yeah,
because it dog legs
It
hard.
does, yeah.
But if you can get that little draw
On 3, do
on
you
the left,
do you
that's
guys
good.
hit it over the river on 3, or y'all go?
So just for fun,
Yeah.
But so like what I was gonna say is 3. So like 2 is like what 310, 315 from the.
yeah.
So like you're hitting, you got to be careful because you're gonna hit it over the tee box or over the green.
Yeah, I mean, usually if it lands,
What are
on
you
it'll
hitting?
Stop. I like to drive to there.
See, that's the one hole that I can drive the green on that hole.
Really?
And that
Yeah, you ran it up there before.
I have done it before.
Yeah.
And then probably 4 putted, but I got a birdie last week actually.
Nice.
On,
Good
yeah, I
job.
did. I got a birdie on the, and Brock actually got an eagle.
On what?
He did.
On 1?
The last one before you come back across the river. What is that? 6?
That par 4?
6 par 4.
You drive the green?
I got a birdie there.
Well, he got an eagle there.
So I had a great drive and it almost went into the ditch.
Into the ditch, right? Just short.
And so I
yeah.
just chipped it up onto the green, and I used my sand wedge and lopped it,
yeah.
and it hit, I mean, like 2 feet from the cup,
And just
sat
Yeah.
right there. And so I ended up getting out of there in 3.
So what'd Brock do?
Brock on not on that hole. Which one was it where he eagled? Which one?
The
did
only
he-
one par 5.
Brock's getting into golf, isn't he?
He is.
He is.
He is.
Big time?
Yeah.
Committing to it. Jake mentioned the other day. he's
No,
like, I think
it
I'm
was
gonna
a
start
par
golf.
4 that he got into.
Did he make it?
Oh yeah.
Like from the fairway, made it.
No, in 2.
Oh, he hit a driver.
He hit
on
a
it,
drive.
putt.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I mean, he drove it to like the edge of the green and then just like a chipping wedge or whatever. And
Yeah, made it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Which one would that have been? It might have been 3. It might have been 2 because that's doable.
Yeah.
On
You shoot him front right there. And
Not
Yeah.
for me. It's not doable
Yeah.
for me.
anyway. Yeah.
I almost had a hole in 1 out there in that little par 3 in the back there.
I'm
that little
terrible.
one.
That's my worst hole.
Dude, it was like
Do you
this.
have one?
No, I've never made a hole in 1. I've
Yeah.
lipped out probably 7. I've lipped them out in tournament and just playing with guys. I have had tons of hole out eagles, tons of eagles just in general, but I cannot make a hole in 1. My dad has 2, and he does not play golf.
Wow.
Yeah, my dad's played golf. Maybe
Does he
what?
jab you with that?
Oh yeah,
I got 2 holes in 1.
yeah, and one of them was on a par 4.
And I won a car with one of them.
On a par 4, made it. Yeah.
Wait.
I was there.
Is
I
that
was like 8 years old.
Is that an
Back on.
albatross? An albatross
He
is
didn't
what
even
that
know
is.
it until he got up to
An
the green.
albatross.
Probably
Yeah,
he's like,
and it was-
I hit that pretty good.
was
And
honestly-
he's like, where the heck's my ball? Where's my ball?
It was honestly Caddyshack. He got up there, it was pouring rain, and got on the green, started doing a snow angel.
Yeah, well, yeah, I
Yeah.
would too.
Yeah. And he was
own
like,
that
that's
green.
it. And he hung it up. He's like, I don't need to play anymore. I mean, he
I've accomplished all that I need to
yeah,
accomplish.
the only thing, like, if
I've
dad
mastered this
comes
game.
and plays with me, but he's just, I don't know. It's weird how good he is at golf that he doesn't play golf. I think it's just hand-eye coordination. Probably because
I mean, like,
he's an athlete.
didn't you guys say
know
the same thing about Curtis Rourke?
He could bomb
Because he didn't
it.
play much
He
golf
could
until
bomb
he
it
got
off the
here,
tee.
right?
He could bomb it off the tee.
But he was
Kills
good
it.
though too,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
he could play the rest of the clubs as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he would just pick it up when he needed to. That's the thing with him. My
just
dad would just pick it up
freak
when he needed
athlete.
to it, and
Yeah.
he was fine. I mean, he's not
I
a
wish
great golfer.
I would
but
like golf a lot more if I could do that.
That's the thing. I think my dad was what you call an invite golfer. When the buddies invite you, when the coaches invite
That's
you,
when you play.
You just go play golf.
Brooks, let me
That's
tell you my
kind of what
problem.
I am.
yeah,
Let me tell you my
Well,
problem.
summertime I go a few more times, but
Yeah.
I'm left-handed.
that's
your
already
problem.
hard to play golf like that because people don't. There's a lot more. By the way, it's easier to find right-handed golf clubs than left-handed golf clubs.
yeah.
Well, here's my story.
But he doesn't play golf
I
left-handed.
golf right-handed because I
Because of
couldn't
that
find
right there.
left-handed clubs. So I learned to play right-handed. Well, yeah, not wow because I'm horrible. So it's not like
Would
he
it be
not
better if I got
horrible.
you a set of left-handed clubs?
Well, I
Oh.
tried left-handed clubs before, and it's weird.
You already set your mind on right-handed.
Is
But
that-
do you hit left-handed?
Yeah,
Yeah. You do everything, don't you?
but I interlock when I golf.
Yeah.
I don't when I hit.
Well,
yeah,
that's fine. I don't either.
Well, yeah, but if I went left-handed, I felt like I would have to hold it like a baseball bat.
Oh,
10 fingers.
See, I don't.
Yeah.
My dad 10 fingers. He doesn't interlock.
I interlock my fingers.
That's what I do too, but I do that right-handed.
Yeah,
and
well, I do it. I do it right-handed.
But you don't interlock your fingers when you bat.
No.
Right.
Oh, no.
That's what I'm saying. So the difference between this...
Who does? Do you know anybody that does?
No,
Because
but
I'm also holding my thumb right there.
Yeah.
I know some softball
I would
players.
never hit a baseball bat like that.
I know some softball players that hold the end of the knob.
The knob, yeah. Put 2 fingers down the knob, yeah.
Or
the bottom fingers.
even like this. Even like this.
Yeah.
Wow. And just swing it like that. It's
Yeah.
crazy. I'd never be able to do
My
that.
dad, he doesn't interlock. We have guys on our team who overlap. So you can overlap or you can interlock.
Yes.
Or there was actually a kid who did do 10 finger.
I feel like I would swing it too much like a baseball bat if I
We had
did
a guy on
that.
our golf team who his swing coach back
Which wouldn't
when he was in
necessarily
high
be
school told him if you continue that 10 finger grip, you will never play college golf. And he did. I mean,
Wow.
yeah.
So what's the science behind?
I think it's a
Overlapping
stability. I think
or
it's a
interlocking?
stability thing. I think like this. I think there's a lot of bend that can go on and a lot of separation. I think this keeps you locked in.
And it keeps
You know what I'm
those
saying?
knuckles lined up too, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Like I can't
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. So you would think you would see more hitters align their
doing it
neck,
for
'cause-
that reason.
Yeah, to get to keep the bat out of their palms.
I feel like batting wise, I could
get it in
I
their
could.
hands.
I don't know. I feel like I'd hit it further 10 finger than interlocking
Then why wouldn't you hit it 10-finger golfing?
because I want to be more accurate.
In control.
Yeah.
Come on.
I don't know. I mean, if I'm gonna hit a baseball,
Accuracy.
Come on, bro.
Nobody's getting up to the plate and saying I'm
How
gonna hit it to the left
accurate am I
field.
going to be
are
with
they?
this?
Is there guys who get up to the plate and they know they're gonna hit it left field?
To right field.
You mean- what do you
if you're
mean
a
left
lefty.
MLB.
Oh boy,
You're
over
gonna
there.
swing early?
Oh yeah, those guys can hit it wherever they want.
Really?
Yeah.
So they know where they're hitting it.
I
They're not
mean,
just swinging.
that's
No,
how
no,
that's
I
how
would-
you know. Like not. It depends.
Well, I guess they're trying
So if the
to
pitching
hit
is
it with
weak, if the pitching is weak,
Well, yeah,
those guys
obviously,
will
if
hit
somebody's
wherever they
throwing a
want.
little 45 mile per hour lob at you,
Well, no,
you can
I
hit it where you want.
weak for
No,
MLB is low 90s, right?
They
Low
str-
90s with
they struggle on that.
mediocre stuff. But
Yeah.
I didn't never know those guys knew where they're at. I thought they were
But I
swinging for
mean,
the fences.
I think you
if
always
you want to
know
hit
where
the
you're
ball to
hitting,
the right
but
side of the field, you can. Our kid, have you ever demonstrated
swing
that
a
for
little
your
late,
kids?
right? You swing a little
like,
late.
hey, this old boy can still play, right?
like swing a little late, just hit a little right.
Yeah, back control, barrel control.
I've got up and hit off pitching machine before.
Yeah,
but
I
that's
did
about
that
it.
last year.
Yeah.
when it was cranked
I
up.
always told Ethan I was gonna.
Now, are you
Yeah.
at the moment, or is Brock at the moment yet of knowing how to shot shape yet? Like draws, fades, low, high.
Oh, I don't know. I
You
doubt.
just swing. So you're just
I mean,
swinging.
he probably is more so than I am, but
Yeah.
I didn't even know what you're talking about there for a second. I had to think about
like the ball
shot
moving
shape.
in the air.
What's it?
Yeah.
What's the fade? What's the fade in
Yeah,
the
I
draw?
know. Now-
Is a draw
Fade is the one that starts left to right
Yeah.
if you're a righty, and right to left is the
Draw. Like
So,
on
a left
hole
to
one
right's
at
also
OU,
a-
you want
is that-
draw.
draw.
Yeah, sure.
Is that
Right.
the slice? The fade is the slice
Yes,
pattern.
the left to right.
That's
yeah.
what I do.
Yeah,
He
I'm
works
a- I
that pretty
fade.
hard.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
fact, he'll line up toward the clubhouse on.
I'm a fader.
Have you ever played golf with somebody that does that? Like they get up
Oh.
the tee box and they're like, "Okay,
I've tried
let's
it.
shift over."
I've tried
What
it.
are you doing? And they're like, "Just wait."
yeah, just
And they,
Yeah, but you
the
hit
one that
it.
always goes straight though. when
You
they-
hit it 100.
that's the problem.
You hit it 100 yards that way because it goes.
Right. It goes two
the problem.
directions. It's like,
right.
yeah.
Yeah. I've done that
That's
before for
nuts.
sure.
Hey, what were we talking about here? With well, golf is a sport, so we're just kind of talking about. But
I don't know. We'll have to see the
what is our
viewers
theme
on this
for today?
episode.
After 48 minutes of being on a podcast,
The theme is
we got the World
Earlier,
Series.
I was going to
World
transition,
Series is
but I
playing
forgot
on.
at what point we were going
Well,
to transition.
you mentioned Aaron Judge earlier. You said something about Aaron. Let's talk about the World Series because by the time people hear this podcast, the World Series might be over because the Yankees are getting their tails beat. Last
They
night
might be back, though.
I told somebody
came
I think
alive.
I don't think you can count the Yankees out. I really
told-
don't.
I told-
You can never count them out.
Jake's or might was it be by Jake's in-laws.
You keep saying in-laws. Listen, in 6 years, he's going to join me. He's going to be he's going to be a grandpa.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
6
Maybe
years
that-
is quite a bit of time. I mean, they got time to do the right things, right? Get the college education, get married,
Yeah, sure. I'm not going to say what I'm thinking here. I'll say it.
or get married while you're getting your college education.
I'll say it. I'll
I
say
did
it
that. I did
when we
that.
stop
Yeah, me too.
recording. But yeah, I sent him a message. Said the Yankees showed up. There's the Yankees because they scored 11 last night.
Oh,
I
yeah.
I could not believe they could not score runs against it. I'm like, what? But and that's the thing. So that's the what I brought up is everyone's down on Aaron Judge because Judge has had a bad postseason.
Right.
He hasn't hit well.
It feels like
in
it.
the postseason.
Yeah.
And I think, for me, the things that I was thinking about is it's a lot of times as a parent, you go out and watch your kid play on a weekend or even a game sometimes after a bad game, and it's, what in the world's going on? They're doing this, they're doing that. What's the problem? Nothing's working. But it's one game,
Right.
and in the same idea with Aaron Judge, we're talking about just a short stretch of a career that and we're really focusing on that, but.
And it just, to be fair, it just so happens to be the most important games that he's ever played.
Right. So, I would say there's an element of mental, the challenges
Oh,
that
without
he's
a doubt.
experiencing mentally.
That's all it is for him. Because physically.
Well,
he can do
but
it.
you got announcers talking about how he's opening his hips and things like that. It's just like
We need to get Teacher Man to spend a little more time with him.
Well, he's swinging at pitches like if you look at the pitches that he's struck out on, some of those pitches are a foot out of the zone. You're gonna hit that pitch regardless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But okay, why is he chasing those pitches? Because he's facing really stinking good pitchers.
Yeah.
And I mentioned it to you, Brooks, before we started recording. As a golfer, you got I think it would be easy for someone to say, okay, Brooks, you go out on a course and you shoot, your favorite course. What do you shoot?
Yeah,
What's your best score on your favorite course?
Me?
Yeah.
63.
63.
Yeah.
So every time you go out and shoot, I shoot.
Rolling my eyes over here.
That's about what I shoot.
Yeah, 9 holes.
9 holes.
right.
He's talking about-
We got the joke.
Eight.
Oh, you're talking about 18?
The first one, you can't run it 2 times. I'll catch it.
But so you shoot every time you go out on that course, you shoot 63.
No.
Of course not.
There you go.
Of course not. It's ridiculous to say that because
That's why people
why?
have their PBs. Your PB is what your PB is on a perfect 75-degree day. You got your sweet tea in the golf cart, and you're rolling the rocket. You know what I'm saying? But
There's
on
Mr.
the
Alabama.
majority
Your
of the
sweet
day,
tea in the golf cart.
yeah, on the majority of the day you come in there, you walk in there, you're with, you don't have your sweet tea, and you shoot a 73, and you walk out, and you're just like, all right.
Yeah, and could you be feeling good and feeling good about your approach and your swing and still not
There's
have a great
days
score?
where I felt like I'm hitting the best I've ever hit in my life and shoot a 75.
And why? Because you said earlier,
Conditions. You never know.
you have a different lie every
Right.
time you go out.
Exactly.
You're seeing every ball you hit's a different lie, or the wind's blowing a different direction.
Yeah, good
or
bounce. Maybe you hit something on your putt.
the ground's a
Wind's
little
blowing
wetter or a
good.
little
Yeah.
drier. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's why I say it could be debatably
The cup's in a different
hardest
spot every
sport
time you go out there.
It could be the hardest sport out there.
Could be, even though that ball's sitting still on the tee.
But
No, you're right. I'm not going to argue with you on there.
I hit a ball and thrown at me.
I'll say this.
All right, let's put a new element in the
listen,
golf here.
I just wanna
you get
say-
your golf club
I
out.
just wanna
Let me
say,
go down to the women's
this is-
tee and throw it as hard as I can. Get that baby to spin and move, and you hit.
listen.
You tee off with that one.
When you have and this is the difference, okay, from the level that we play at, is all the golf courses are usually around 7,000 yards or longer, okay? So that a normal par 4 would be 450 yards, 404, maybe 420, 450, okay? 420 yards away. You got trees, water, hazards in the way, and you're supposed to take this little ball, put it in a hole that's just 4 times bigger than that, and 4 shots.
There's no top.
You gotta
There's
do
no
it. You got-
clock.
Oh yeah,
The timer's
It
not
could be
going to
the
save
Actually,
you.
on the
sport,
PGA
Pat.
Tour, they just added a
this
clock.
could be the perfect sport.
They did.
They have a shot clock.
Yeah, they did.
Did we
but
not?
you get your opportunities. You're not going to.
Oh, no, no,
You know
no,
what I mean? You're not going to.
Sorry.
The other players can't keep you from
No, yeah.
competing.
That is actually one of the harder aspects, I think, is you can't tap out. Once you're playing, you have to keep playing. There is no take me out, coach.
That's a good.
Very
That's a good
similar to
point.
baseball in that
I
sense.
think
is
it,
that everybody gets the equal number of opportunities
Yeah.
to win. There is no clock. Did we include golf in our perfect sport?
Yeah, I think
episode?
We did.
I think
we
in a
did.
mental way, it's hard because it's such a long day. Because we're walking, you know what I'm saying? And when you walk 36, you're out there for 10 hours. Non-stop walking with a 40-pound
which covers
bag.
the willpower, the physical
Yeah,
will.
so, by the
of a-
time
of a
That's why
competitor.
you're in the weight room.
By the time you're, exactly.
one of the reasons
By
why
the time
you're
you're 28 holes in, you're a different person, fatigue-wise.
Oh heck yeah!
You know what I'm saying? So you almost have to change.
You might even be using different clubs at that point.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I'm not there yet to hit a full 5-iron. I need to choke
Yeah.
up on a 4,
I even think we mentioned how in competitive instances, in most cases they're walking, they're not riding a cart. So
I prefer that too. To be
I think
honest.
golf finished
You like
like
walking?
Yeah.
I think it finished like
Like if I'm
second.
going with people who want to ride a cart, I'll get
Yeah.
a cart, rent a cart. But
I like walking
I
too,
prefer, if I go play by
If
myself,
it's beautiful
I'm
weather and
walking.
stuff, and it's like I like taking it all in, just
Yep.
kind of.
Not me. I never walk, and that's why the camera angle is just tilted up a little bit.
Bad
Can't
conditions,
see that.
I do like a cart though. Like if it's pouring, raining, I like to keep dry in a cart. But
If it's pouring raining, but I'm not going.
yeah, you're not going golfing. That's
fair. Actually, it did
that's a
rain.
rain check.
It did rain on us last Friday morning when we went. Dustin, and Brock and I got like a hot deal at OU. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
golf now.
Yeah,
I remember those. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've used those before.
and it was when we started. It was a little bit miserable. It wasn't supposed to rain, but
When'd you go?
It
What
started
day?
raining. It was at 10 a.m. last Friday, and it was
cold?
cool. It was
Yeah.
cool out. Yeah, but no. By the time we got into it, it was it was 60 degrees or so.
Yeah.
But when we started, it was about 49.
You ever go to a course and it's just like you can never play well on it for some
Honestly,
reason,
yeah, there's a few that will qualify.
and you maybe you don't even know why.
Yeah, I just don't
You're just
like
like,
it.
I don't know.
Why am I
Doesn't
no
fit
good
my
at
eye.
this course?
There's actually a course that we used to play. So the biggest amateur tournament in the world is called the U.S. Amateur, United States Amateur.
Yep.
And I played the qualifier for it in the summer, and it's this course. They do. They have one site in each state, and I mean these are loaded golfers. These are the best golfers. And I mean, actually, like the guy who qualified in Alabama, one was from New Zealand and one was from Australia.
Wow.
It's just annoying because they come all the way,
Yeah.
to go play in that one. I'm like, why are you playing Alabama's? Why? Like, go.
Why does that matter to you?
It's just like, I don't know. I just know they're so good at golf,
Yeah.
and it's just like, these guys don't even speak English, and they're just killing us, But I mean, it's not,
They don't speak English in New Zealand?
Yeah, they probably do. I'm just saying foreign. There's. I played
Right.
with people in college. who
Hey,
don't really
mate, they speak English over
Yeah.
there. That was
Yeah.
bad. Bad. But that's what that's more of Australian.
Yeah.
But they got a similar sound.
They're over there. They're over there.
Yeah, they're in that area.
Anyway.
The down under.
But a lot of those holes on that course are dogleg lefts, and I personally don't love to hit a draw.
You like?
I like a little bit of
fade.
left to right.
What do you call it?
It's fade. Yeah.
yeah.
And
Slice.
so it just
Slice.
forces me all day long to aim at tree lines all day long. And, let's say your fade doesn't fade that 5 yards, it fades 2 yards, and then you hit a tree, and then it knocks it down, and you have a bogey, and maybe it happens again. It's just, I like the courses that have either dogleg left to rights or just straight.
So are you on a course that has
Rights and left
mostly lefts, and
Yeah,
you don't
right.
like the draw?
Yeah.
Are you playing your fade because that's your strength, or are you still trying to hit a draw?
So, I've actually had a lot of talks about this. It's like, do you force the shot shape you're comfortable with, or do you completely change it and just start trying to hit those draws?
Yeah, do you master your strengths, or do you work on your weakness?
Exactly, yeah. So at the level, at this level, everyone can hit a draw or a fade. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I would say most likely on demand. But
It's
I
fascinating.
felt like my personal belief, is that I think that you swing what you know is going to come off the club face consistently.
And this is why I would argue baseball is a more difficult sport.
You think because based off pitchers or different pitchers?
Because I think a pitcher
Well,
can get
what
on the
you-
mound and say, my best pitch is a cutter. And a hitter can get at the plate and say, my best pitch to hit is something that's coming in on me. And because of that, the
Well,
hitter.
a cutter's coming in on you as a lefty.
Well, sorry, yeah, right.
So I don't want to see a cutter as a righty.
Yeah, well,
It's going to wait for me.
well, that's what
Yeah.
judges experience. But yeah,
Right.
right. But you understand my
Right.
point. But because of that, your best might not be the best in that situation, or
because it's based on the opponent.
So that would
Right.
make baseball tougher?
yes,
How would that make baseball tougher if I have to go to a course?
because
to
it might
play
not matter.
something?
Your best might not matter because the other guy can beat your best.
You're saying that he's like, even though I am a fader, I'm going to hit these draws all day.
His
long.
best
Yeah.
pitch, if it's the same as your best pitch to hit, but he's a little
Like-
bit better.
like
he's gonna
Freddie
beat-
Freeman.
He's going to beat you, even though that's the pitch you're looking for.
Right, like Freddie Freeman. We were asking
Right now, you're not
why do
beating
they-
Freddie Freeman.
Why do they keep throwing Freddie Freeman inside? They must be doing it for a reason, right? Are they missing? Maybe.
It doesn't matter what they throw Freddie Freeman. He could take a
But see,
rake
I don't know
or
if
a
that's
shovel
true
up to bat
because all I've
tonight and hit a home run.
seen him hit is balls inside, and he jacks those things. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he's hit him here, he's hit him here. Try something else, right?
Hit his head.
Well, that's what I kept saying with Cleveland against Stanton.
Yeah.
Like every time this guy gets up to bat, he's hitting a home run off of
Well,
it.
let's try this spot. Why? Why are you trying that spot? But yeah, no.
Well, here's the thing, Pat. Here's another thing about baseball. He's probably not trying to throw it there. He just made a mistake.
Very possible.
You can't having good command is having good. A pitcher with good command. Greg Maddux was the best at it, but he probably made some mistakes.
And so that the argument I have for Judge right now is the pitchers are prepared for him probably more than any other hitter in that Yankees lineup.
Guaranteed.
And maybe they're just throwing really well, right?
What would you say about the argument that pitchers always have the same distance from mound to plate when golfers have different yardage?
He's not going to let this go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like I may have 130, 175, 147 into par fours. I'll never have whatever feet it is. How many feet is it?
Yeah.
Mound to plate.
60 foot 6 inches.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
But he's throwing that over and over. His arm knows exactly muscle memory. But there's times I have to take a little off an 8-iron. I got to put a little more on an 8-iron.
Well, my argument.
Listen, you're not
my argument.
I fully understand. You
argument to
never
that
played
would
the
be-
game. You understand. We get it, man. I played it.
Listen,
the game you're talking about. No.
Brooks, the game's really
The
tough.
game. I'm with you.
It's a really difficult game. It just can't be the toughest. It can't be the best. Baseball's a team sport. And
I think I remember
pitching
now,
isn't the only position.
Now why we threw golf out of the conversation of what's the perfect sport, and it wasn't baseball either. Although it did end up, we brought it back to baseball. Maybe it was baseball. No.
Baseball's always first sport. We had wrestling up there.
We did, and we also had Australian football.
Australian football up there.
Because
Rugby?
No, that's different than rugby.
What is
Australian
Australian
football. It's got a little different set of rules. Is
it like
played on an
Canadian?
oval shaped field? Also,
We really didn't pick.
There's not hardly any rules to it. I mean, which makes it a really great sport. Like
that's another
the sport
thing
within itself,
is
right?
how easy
is able
it
to govern
officiate.
like what you do within the sport is governing what's happening.
Yeah, right.
If you got more rules in the sport, then it's probably not that perfect of a sport. Like think of the NFL right now. We don't even know what a catch is anymore.
I will say there's a pretty big rule book for golf. Pretty big.
Yeah.
Like I mean, you'll have a rules official come up and be like, Rule 18.6.2.
Let me ask you this. Oh yeah. Do you have a lot of golf and baseball are similar in this sense too? You have a lot of unwritten rules, also, right? You mentioned one,
etiquette,
the shouting at the tee box, and
a lot of etiquette stuff.
What are some other unwritten rules of golf?
I would say polos at the golf course. I've been at some country courses.
Oh, wearing them.
Yeah, like wearing a polo. A lot of guys will walk up in blue jeans and t-shirt, and they'll send them out. Say no. I've been at nice.
Well,
I've been
is that
at
because
really,
it's the club rule?
Yeah, it's like golf.
Or
most golf clubs believe.
Even if you can wear whatever you want to do.
No,
they say
don't
that,
care.
but like you're saying, some guys if you show up to play with them, they'll be like, no, you need to go change because it's an unwritten rule.
I've actually played a lot of. I mean, most private courses, you're not even allowed on premises without a collared shirt.
Even though you watch professional golfers now wearing like what
they mock
what
necks,
I'm wearing
the
now.
mock necks, and hoodies and stuff. But a lot of courses, a lot of clubs will not let you change your shoes in the parking lot. Got to go in the locker room, take your shoes in the bag, change out, then you can do as you.
These aren't really unwritten rules, though.
Like
are you talking about in the game of golf?
what do you not do?
Here's an unwritten rule. Like if
pitcher's throwing a no hitter, you don't talk about it.
You don't talk about it, and as an opponent, if you're getting beat 6-0, and the pitcher's throwing a no hitter against you,
in the sixth or
you
seventh
lay down
inning.
a bunt in the 9th inning, it's not like you're still trying to win, but obviously he's just trying to break up the no hitter. You can't be surprised if the next time you play that team, that guy gets plunked.
Actually, those are two unwritten rules.
Those are two. The unwritten
You
rule.
don't do that.
And the next unwritten rule is we better hit him the next time we play him. So,
Got it.
Like you're not going to ever see those things in a rule book, but if you play the game,
I didn't think about that. That's
not talking in a backswing, right?
Yeah, no, you're not supposed to talk about
Yeah.
it.
Is that a rule though?
No, I don't think it is.
so
I don't think it's
So
I don't
you're
think
allowed.
it's
You
in
could
the
do
book.
it. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you this:
But you don't.
Do you have to pull the pin when you're putting?
Okay, so
Ooh, yeah, that's a great question.
the rule change that happened.
Because of COVID.
I don't know. It might have been actually because it was. No, it was actually within that.
That's what they did.
Yeah,
that's what they
It
did.
does seem weird that
That's
we
what they
actually were
did. They
doing
left
these
the
things.
pins. You didn't know that?
So listen, So actually, when I was during COVID would happen, they would call it COVID cups. They put they'd cut a pool noodle about that big,
Yeah.
just that wide, and they'd put it in there, and you leave the pin in, and you just pull your ball out. You don't have to reach in. It just hits. So people would smack it against the pin. And
You
it's in.
didn't go golfing during COVID?
I did, but I went to OU.
Okay.
The course was shut down. There were no pins.
So I would say probably 5.
Yeah, you just go and play for free, basically.
Okay.
I mean,
I remember
you probably
that,
weren't
yeah.
allowed to, but yeah.
I remember that 5 years ago, probably more than that, probably 6 or 7 years ago. The ball had to go into the hole when the pin had to be out. If the ball was going to go in the hole, the pin had to be out. Okay,
That was the rule.
Other than if you made it from the fairway or chipped in.
Well, obviously,
but
yeah.
if you're on the green, you cannot put the ball into the hole unless it's out. So people would tend the pin. They would tend
the pin,
Yeah, so
yeah.
you'd stand, hey,
Yeah.
can you tend it for me?
Yeah.
Putt it, and they pull it out. Okay. Nowadays, that's all scratch. You can keep it in if you want.
You
You
have
can
the
pull it out.
choice.
You can do it.
Why would you ever want it out?
For me personally, I like it out. The hole looks bigger.
It looks bigger.
Yeah, to me, visually. Like
And
if I have
two-
a 6 foot putt and the pin's in there, I feel like the hole's compressed.
It's possible that if you hit the pin, it could bounce out.
Exactly. But there's
Yeah.
I forget what
But
the
for me,
scientific research.
if I'm going to hit it over the hole and that pin's going to help stop it.
The scientific research behind it is, I think technically, Bryson DeChambeau loves to leave it in. He said that there is it's like a 1.8 something, or I don't know what the actual number is that he pulled up, but he was a biochemist at SMU.
Yeah.
And he's, in my opinion, probably one of the most talented golfers on earth. And
So he says leave it?
He says leave it. Because he says the science says that if you leave it,
it's
more
more
times
likely.
it will go
The
in.
probability is
I leave it in
gonna
when it's,
help more than
Well,
hurt
that's
you.
been my problem this whole time.
Oh, I leave it in all the
I
time.
leave it in when it's longer putts. Like if I want to have the speed right, I said, if I hit it, I hit it. That's great.
Yeah.
And if it goes in, whatever. But shorter putts, I'll pull it out.
It just feels like it's the right thing to do.
No, I just think the hole looks.
It looks bigger. I'm gonna try that next time because I usually just leave it in.
Yeah.
Because especially if I'm playing by myself, I'm
And
not gonna
aiming
walk up
and
take the
lining
pin
it
out.
up wise, so I draw a line on my ball.
Well, what I do when I play by myself is I take it out and I lay it down
Okay,
right
how
up
about
against where
this?
my ball is.
How about this?
I don't do
Wait, this is big. You hit a ball. You're approaching the green. The ball's, let's say, 5 yards off the green. You're going to chip it,
Yeah.
but your cart is parked 20 yards up the hill.
Got it.
Do you bring your putter?
Oh yeah.
You do bring your putter,
If it's,
I'll bring more than one club with
but don't you
if I'm
think?
with the guys, then I'll probably just bring a wedge and just chip it and tap in with the wedge.
Really?
If what? We're just.
Oh, you know
that's
you're going
a
to chip it
yard
close
off?
enough.
Yeah. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying
I'll
you
chip that
don't
thing.
bring your putter because you're going to make it with your wedge. If you're bringing your
Oh, I
putter,
see what you're
That's-
saying.
yeah, that's what
if you're
I'm saying.
bringing your
You're showing
putter,
lack
you're,
of confidence
you're
in your
submitting.
chipping.
Yeah, you're conceding the fact that you're not going to make that chip.
That's like
right.
I think.
I'm glad
the
you saw it.
chances of making that chip in is a lot more slimmer than what is actually going to happen.
I got yelled at one time during a scramble because I actually brought everybody's putters with me.
And they were like,
You idiot! Take those back. We
Oh.
don't need those.
so they were superstitious about it.
Bad, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm glad you said that.
Well, I've
'cause
never
I'm
known
like,
anybody to do that.
No, yeah, I always
you must have been playing with some pretty
as
decent
we
golfers.
as we chipped and missed and chipped and missed and chipped and missed and chipped and missed.
Eventually, you're like,
And I'm
guys,
like,
I'm
here's
just gonna
the
bring the
putters.
putter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I kept.
You ever
mine.
you ever give yourself a little better lie when you're out
There's
there
a
just
lot
playing?
of times in tournaments actually. So if it's rain, if it's pouring raining and the conditions are awful, they'll do lift in place. So what you can do is you
Oh.
put a tee on the
But
ground.
that's legal.
That's
at that
good
point.
to know.
Put a tee in the ground, pick up your ball, clean it off, and put it within. Usually it's a scorecard length of where you were at, and you can put it on the grass. And I've seen guys in tournaments who are just you could tell
And
they
you
probably
can-
put it.
Are you allowed to just set it down nice
Yeah.
and gently on some really nice blades of grass that are laying? Like you don't have to just drop it.
Nope. You can set it. You place it.
That's how. It's good to know.
We
I'm not
did-
going to feel bad
Now,
about
that's
doing
only
that.
with bad conditions.
So you can
Usually
always
it's-
do that.
No, you can't
just in
always
bad
do that.
conditions.
So that. Well, I was gonna say, well,
he's gonna be like, it's pretty wet today.
I'm not playing. I'm not playing for money. I'm
Coach-
not playing.
Coach is out there.
So I'll take that
Yeah.
club, and if I'm laying on a piece of concrete, or like some some fairways are like concrete.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Oh,
off the
now
fairways.
we're stretching. You almost have me with the concrete. If you're on concrete, you can
See,
move it off.
he plays by the play it as it lies rule.
So I did that one time. I decided one day.
No, I
it was
don't.
down here at OU. I'm like, I was playing by myself. Like sometimes I'll just decide today I'm going to go down and I'm only going to play with these clubs. And I'll pick like 3 clubs, like a putter, a
awesome.
a 3-wood, and a 7-iron.
We actually do
and
some of that stuff.
just for the
practice.
fun of it,
Yeah.
But one day I said, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to play this whole round with one ball.
It's like serious round.
And I'm never going to pick it up. Like, I'm never going to move it. I'm never going to pick it up. I'm just going to wherever it lies.
See how dirty
If
he
it's in a
gets.
bunch of sticks and I can find it, I'm hitting out of there. I'm just going to, just for the fun of it. And it wasn't fun.
Yeah.
It wasn't fun.
That's competition golf for you.
Yeah.
Play it as it lies.
I always change my lie. But it doesn't matter.
Kind of give it a little foot wedge.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because I'm that bad. No one ever notices.
I like the ones where like a tree's in your way a little bit. And you just kind of.
Well, because
I don't do that.
Yeah, I don't have. I either got to lay up here, or
Yeah,
if I
exactly.
move it 3 feet, I can go straight to the hole.
But if it's in a man-made structure or on a man-made structure, you can.
There's a
move
lot of things you can get relief from.
Yeah.
Where do we get
Lots
the
of
word
things.
mulligan from?
I don't know. That's got to be Scottish. It's where
Yeah,
golf is
well,
made,
yeah,
man.
yeah, definitely Scottish.
Yeah, probably.
The pants are too. The golf pants. Yeah.
No, there's a lot of things you can get relief from. Like if it's actually there's some courses I've played, and one was in Alabama. There was a par 3 over a lake, and there was a power line that went across the lake. And if you hit that power line and it went in the water, you get a re-tee. It was a local club rule. So they made their own rule that you can, if you hit that power line.
We have that.
And there was a guy that I was playing with in the tournament, and he hit it in the water, and he's like, I think that hit the power line.
Yeah. There you go. Who's going to know?
Yeah, I swear I heard it.
We have that whole 7
But
at Meg's. has a
man-made
power.
obstructions. Yeah, usually you can, like if there's like an
club length,
electrical
or
box in the way, you can move it. It's nearest relief and then club length. So
Yeah.
cart path, you can always get relief from.
Nearest
you don't have to
relief,
hit off the cart path.
Yeah.
Free relief. Yeah. The only thing that's a little tough is, but in competition is knowing what's a hazard and what's out of bounds. So out of bounds is always white stakes, hazard's red stakes. But the difference is if you hit it in the hazard, you can go up there and drop it. Out of bounds, you have to re-tee.
Ooh.
So then
Yes.
you re-tee for 3, and you're hitting the fairway for 4.
Yeah. That's
Already
rough.
for par.
That's rough. Yeah.
Hazard, if I hit in the hazard up there, I'm just dropping, hitting for 3 on the green. Try to make a par. If I do, I don't want to make a bogey. But 4 from the fairway is rough because then you're grinding to make a bogey.
Yeah.
And if you make a doubles is what eats you up.
Yeah,
Double
that-
bogeys, they eat you around.
Yeah.
I think that about doubles all of my scores.
Yeah.
Knowing that rule right there.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay, here's
at
my
OU's
question.
course-
When you play golf, do you have another ball in your pocket?
Oh yeah, I do.
That's an unwritten rule.
You
Oh.
don't
As
do
a-
that?
I would say as a skill,
That's like your club
you get
question,
to a
your
level
putter
of
question.
golf where you don't do that.
You don't
Why?
see a guy with an extra ball.
Why, Brooks? Hold on a second. You don't.
Here's the
You-
thing.
you bring
when
your
I do
putter-
that, I never need that other one. But as soon as I don't do it, I'm like,
But you'll bring
get
your
another ball.
putter instead of walking 20 yards.
Yeah, I mean,
because
you always
there's a
need to-
difference between losing a ball and missing a putt. Or
I just
missing
think
a chip.
number one, I think when you're walking around with the imprint of a ball in your pocket, you've already put yourself out there. It's like, all right, this guy may pocket drop one.
Oh,
I'm
cheating.
Yeah, like if you're walking
I
around
don't
like
use it for cheating.
We're so bad.
Yeah,
It crossed our mind. We keep them so.
I could cheat with that. That's right.
We keep. I
That's the thing
keep
is
them
I-
all in
like
my
instead-
pocket because I know
So,
I'm going to
if
need
you know
it.
a guy's carrying a ball
Yeah, I'm
around,
watching him.
and then
he'll hit one
you
left,
get up.
and he'll be like
and
walking
then
around,
all
like,
of a
I'm trying to
sudden-
find it, and he'll pop it out.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
And you're like, wait a
exactly.
minute, where's that other ball that was in your?
That's exactly right.
Ah, that's why you wear loose pants.
Yep.
I guess.
I always have I always put like 78
Extra balls.
balls in the golf cart there. Like I
Right.
stack them up
Well,
and pack them
that's
in.
what they put those little holders for,
Yeah,
right?
they do have the holders in there.
The 3, but then I have a bunch in the
little cubbies, yeah.
This
is good
Just
stuff.
in
Yeah.
case.
I always have in my pocket at all times. I'll have probably 1 to 2 tees. Everything's in the left pocket.
Yeah,
never
tees.
right pocket.
Same.
Never right.
I-
pocket.
yeah, I'm with you
I
there.
think
I
I,
don't
have
know
to
why.
I got to get through the ball. Get on the left side. I'm
I
turning
don't
left.
keep tees in my pocket.
Because
just keep them in my pocket.
Probably two
I
tees.
think when I got my club in my hand, I'm sticking it on the tee
Yeah.
with my
Yeah.
left.
And you reach out with your left. Yeah, exactly.
and you keep the ball on the tee when you put the tee down on the
yeah,
ground.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. If you're putting the tee in and then putting the ball on top, you got problems.
Yeah, you're a weirdo.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
I'm,
we'll do
I'm
that.
Sure I'm almost positive I've done that.
You put
before.
tee in, tap it with the club, and then put the ball in.
Oh, no, I don't do that. Like
Some
I'll
of
like
these tee boxes,
I'll
you
like have
you need a
tried to stick
jackhammer
the
to
tee
get-
and the ball in, and then maybe like the ball falls off. I guess that happens. Yeah,
You gotta.
Yeah, I've never just put the tee in by like
Put
you
the,
know,
use
yeah,
the
the-
ball. Let me ask you this.
And also, if you like squat down, like I've seen people just make full squat and go on the ground or take,
Down
take
on
a
their
knee.
knees.
Like you're
Yeah, I've seen people take a knee, like immediately when you know on a first hole, you can. I would debatably say you know the skill of a golfer within the first hole. I think if you get on a knee, I think if you squat down, teeing it up, I think.
I have an equivalent of that in baseball.
Yeah, what is it?
When I watch a team warm up,
Really, you can tell.
the first thing I do, that's one of the reasons why we put
Like
so
throwing
much
it
emphasis,
around, you can tell?
so much emphasis on catch play. The begin before that, like our warm up routine and our catch play routine, because I don't on game days. Now on practice days, I'm out there. Our coaches are out there with them because that's practice.
sure, yeah.
But on game days, we have a coach, maybe two coaches
still-
out there with
yeah,
them.
I was gonna
But I'll stand in the dugout and watch the other team. And if they just straggle out there, and they just start throwing without any kind of warm up or whatever, or they their balls are going up against the fence a lot, and they just or how they go about their business. In my mind, I'm thinking we should win this game.
I'd say it's a 75% tell.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's
Yeah.
bad, I mean, you're not always going to see.
Oh,
like
no,
there might
no.
be, you might look at them and be
some
like,
kids,
eh.
sometimes you'll see that, and they'll get up and they'll just absolutely rake the ball. I mean,
True.
and then you're like, oh, we're in for a dogfight here with these guys, but
Yeah. Or you don't play well, or
something
the umpire.
Any number of things can happen.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, usually it's the umpires cheat us, and that's the reason we lose.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I know that. Of course.
That's the
Of
opposite
course.
of everything this podcast is about. What is this podcast about?
This podcast right here,
Our whole show.
life.
Like keeping
This-
the ball in the pocket.
Life.
This is
Being
just
ready.
Putting the ball in the
We
pocket.
talked a
I
lot
would
about
say,
life.
hey, look, you're just
I had
staying
another
ready.
question.
You're just staying ready with the ball in the pocket.
That's the
Being
podcast
most
name.
prepared.
The ball in the pocket. Yeah, that's right.
Ball in
Well,
pocket.
yeah, we're gonna need a title
Anyway,
for this one.
question.
I lost it. I can't remember what it was. I'll think of it as soon as we're done.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, I would just say it's why golf is the second best sport in the world. Pretty much covers it. Agreed, Brooks?
Covers it. Yeah.
the second best sport. Yeah.
you
I
ever
would say.
play-
I would say that also golf would be the best sport because it doesn't limit anybody. You can play until you're 9 years old.
That's a good point.
I think we talked about
And
that.
look, I get it.
as-
Look,
we get,
you know,
that was
look,
our reason why
softball-
it wasn't the perfect sport because
Yeah.
you don't have to be a stellar
No, yeah. There's so
athletic
many guys.
condition.
You know, like you get to a
could
point,
play as a 70
Yeah.
and 9-year-old, right?
There's a point people get to age where they're like, yeah, I'm shooting my age. You ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
75, 80-year-old man that says
Yeah.
I'm shooting my age. Yeah.
What do you say when you're 40 and you're shooting like a 75? Actually, probably worse than a 75, 80-year-old man. What do you say then? You just stink?
It's hard to beat those old men.
Man, they hit it so straight. They figured it out.
Oh, yeah.
Tell you what, it doesn't go
Yeah.
anywhere. But
200 yards
I mean, right
straight.
down the middle. Yeah.
Just
right down the middle.
next-
and it's
next.
like the swing probably is like hip high.
Yeah,
Never goes higher. than
That's
that.
what I
'Cause they
need to.
can't
That's
turn,
what I
you
need to
know what
work
I'm saying?
on.
They can't.
I need to
can't
work
turn.
on that.
What, turning?
Just hitting the
Yeah.
ball straight.
Yeah.
Just hit it
There we
straight.
go.
I think the game
Work
would
on
be a
that
lot
skill.
more
I
fun.
would say the
to
best
me.
thing is eliminating one side of the course. If you can take out one side,
Ooh.
you know you're going to miss it right or you know you're going to miss it left. At least you know. Like I know if my miss is, I know I'm going to miss it
I
right.
need to write that down.
That's why I like golfing at the Meigs County Golf Course because
They have a golf course.
oh yeah, it's a 9-hole,
How far is it from here?
25 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't know about
But every hole has
This is the unique thing about it.
a fairway to its right.
To get to this course, you're
to a
driving up a massive
right.
hill.
Everything's
that. So I love it.
And every drive is you
Oh,
can hit a
you-
great drive and not have a clue where your ball is
yeah,
because it goes down like
What's the conditions out there?
You can't. Is there a green? Is there a dry? Is there one where you don't even see the pin? Like you can't even see it at all.
Well,
Because-
you can't really
because
see.
it's downhill.
You can't really see 2. You can't really see 3. Then there's a par 5. It's a short
Well,
one.
yeah,
I don't know what it
yeah.
is. It's not even. I don't even think that par 5.
But like
is-
there's par 3s or 4s where you can't even see the pin at all.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It
It's
was
a fun little
developed.
course.
The-
Well, I haven't been there in
Bill
years.
Childs developed
I need
the
to get
course.
down
and-
there.
I mean, he developed it. He was a golf pro, and he
Yeah.
developed it to be very difficult.
The
Well-
the one we play out here at Athens Country Club it's 100. It was made in 1920, or no, it was 1908 or something. I think it's like 120 years old. I don't know what it is. It's really old. It's like
Well,
crazy old.
is it as old as this town? 1803?
No, it's not that old.
It
is the first place.
1805, right? 1804. The
I will
university
say
was
the
here
Athens
first.
Country Club is the first place that Arnold Palmer and Jack Nicklaus played together.
You're kidding me.
And
Where?
Arnold Palmer has the course record here.
Where? At OU?
You're kidding
Athens
me.
Country Club.
Oh, Athens Country Club.
I'm not joking.
Yeah, I didn't
There's a
know.
picture out there. You know, like the historical markers of Ohio?
Yeah.
They have one at the course, has the whole description about it.
I've never played there, so
I played there one
wouldn't-
time.
Athens Country Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What member asked me to come play?
I'm
with
not
him one
rich
time.
enough.
He didn't invite me back. I'm not
trying to
sad
find
about
it.
it.
Yeah. I'll be darned. And he came up with a pretty mean iced tea. Also, Arnold did. I don't prefer it.
1920,
want iced tea.
1921.
Okay.
Yeah, so
100
it's
years, 103, 100. Yeah.
Yeah. Here you go. It's.
What do you think?
I'll read the description.
Close her out. Yeah,
Yeah, close her out.
All right. Yeah, it just says OhioHistory.org. Nicholas played golf with Arnold Palmer, the king he'd eventually take a crown from for the first time at Athens Country Club in Athens, Ohio, September 28, 1958. 3 years later, Nicholas became the first golfer to win the individual NCAA championship and the U.S. Amateur. Nicholas left Ohio State early and became a professional golfer.
What else?
Yeah,
That's good stuff.
It is.
And we have like a Dow Finsterwald Day. I don't know, you ever heard of that name, Dow Finsterwald? He went to Ohio here, played in Bobcats, and won the PGA Championship. Golf history.
Yeah. There we
There
go.
you
Something came of this. Yeah.
He also has a Hall of Fame baseball player.
Yeah,
Mike Smith.
Smith. Mike Smith. I always ask, if that guy ever comes back and just kind of hangs out. And
He did 2 years ago.
just with the
3 years
team.
ago. That's kind of a sore spot with OU people. I mean, yeah, you would think he would, but he never got invited. It took us a while to put his jersey on the wall here. It happened like 3 or 4 years. It wasn't that long ago.
That's a conversation for another day.
Yeah,
It
that's
is.
the next podcast.
It is.
Catch
Why would you
you
not?
later.
Why would you not immediately retire Mike Schmidt's jersey? Right? I mean,
I don't know. I'm not going to make an opinion. I don't know what's going on. I never heard of that. So
yeah. I don't know if there was. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what. We should look that up. I'll correct myself if I'm wrong. Like there's absolutely nothing. But I feel like there was a coaching staff maybe that didn't want to honor
Throwing
him
too many
for some
cutters.
reason. I don't know what it was, but I could be completely wrong about it. And if I am, I will promise you I will correct it and apologize next podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
he was a hitter.
Thanks for coming in here with us again, Brooks.
Yep.
See you next week.
Yep.
Yeah.